My beloved child, something in the unseen has shifted around you, and heaven is moving urgently because your name was spoken where it should have never been spoken. Archangel Michael is standing close right now, and he is pressing this message into your spirit because time is sensitive, and the spiritual atmosphere around you has changed faster than you realize. On December 10th, a dangerous conversation happened in a realm you could not hear, but it carried your destiny in it. Someone mentioned your path, your progress, your blessing, your rising season, and they did it with the wrong intention. This is not to scare you, but to awaken you. What was whispered about you in that hidden discussion has already begun forming its shadow around your life, and heaven is stepping in before that shadow becomes a reality. Hear this carefully. Archangel Michael says you are not imagining the sudden heaviness, the strange fatigue, the unexpected resistance, the emotional weight that showed up for no reason. These were not random moments. These were echoes, evidence, side effects of that spiritual discussion that involve your name. And heaven does not reveal something like this unless there is a purpose, a defense, a shield being prepared for you. A divine alert has been issued, a warning wrapped in protection, a message wrapped in mercy. There is a reason this found you today. There is a reason your spirit is reacting even now. There is a reason you feel like something big is about to unfold. Because something is. The conversation that happened on December 10th did not go unnoticed. When your destiny was discussed, Archangel Michael heard it. When your progress was questioned, heaven took record. And when your name was spoken with envy, confusion, or hidden intention, the heavens moved with authority. My child, this message is not about fear, it is about exposure. Something that was meant to form against you has already begun to dissolve because this message reached you in time. But there is still a layer of spiritual residue trying to cling to your atmosphere: frustration, delay, misdirection, emotional overwhelm, confusion, or something that just feels off. You are not crazy. You are not overthinking. You are discerning. Archangel Michael says what tried to interfere with your destiny cannot stand once you become aware of it. And you are becoming aware right now. Because once light touches a dark plan, the dark plan loses its power. There is something else heaven says you have been feeling watched spiritually. You have felt a kind of pressure that doesn't belong to you. You have felt like someone has been spiritually trying to understand how far you will go, what blessings you are about to step into, what doors are opening for you. That feeling was not wrong. It was a signal. The conversation on December 10th was not casual. It carried intention and energy. It was meant to create confusion in your journey, to lower your confidence, to weaken your momentum. But heaven is interrupting it before it becomes fully active. And you are hearing this at the exact moment because you are stepping into a season where clarity is returning, where your path is being spiritually cleaned, and where Archangel Michael is sharpening your discernment. You will suddenly understand things you could not understand before. You will see motives clearly. You will feel guided in a way that feels stronger and more direct. Listen to this next part with your spirit. The person or force that spoke your destiny in that December 10th conversation underestimated the amount of spiritual protection surrounding you. They thought your name was defenseless. They were wrong. Archangel Michael says your name has weight in the spirit realm, more than you know. Heaven marked you long before anyone tried to mention you in darkness. But this message is your divine alert, because something needs to be broken consciously, not just spiritually. You must align with what heaven is doing. And the moment you align, the residue left behind from that conversation will shatter completely. Stay here with me because what comes next is something you cannot afford to miss. The next revelation carries the key to reversing the spiritual effect that began forming around your life. Trust me, you'll want to see what unfolds next. Type "I break every shadow" in the comments if this is speaking to your spirit. Lesson code 144 is being released over you right now. Dearest heart, there is a reason your spirit has been restless lately. A reason you've been sensing things shifting around you even when nothing on the outside seems different. Archangel Michael is showing me that your inner world has been reacting to a spiritual vibration that began the moment your name was spoken in that hidden discussion on December 10th. You felt the pressure before you understood the source. You felt the tension before you received the explanation. And now, heaven is bringing revelation so you can finally understand what your spirit has been trying to tell you. Listen close, as the energy released during that discussion did not only target your destiny, it attempted to cloud your clarity. This is why your emotions have felt unpredictable. This is why your intuition has been louder than usual. This is why random memories, strange dreams, and sudden thoughts have been coming to the surface. These are all signs that your spiritual system detected something before your mind did. Archangel Michael says the effect that began forming around your life was subtle, almost invisible, like a quiet cloud trying to shift your atmosphere. Not dramatic, not loud, just enough to confuse your direction and dim your confidence. But heaven is exposing it before it finds a place to settle. There's something important you must understand. Your destiny carries weight. Spiritual realms respond to the kind of light you walk with, even when you don't fully see it yet. Some feel it as inspiration. Some feel it as intimidation. And some, unfortunately, feel it as threat. This is why that December 10th conversation was more dangerous than it looked. It was not just words. It was intention mixed with spiritual energy. But here is the part heaven needs you to grab with both hands. The same moment your name was spoken in that hidden discussion, Archangel Michael marked your atmosphere with a divine shield. While the negative intention tried to form around you like a quiet fog, the angelic defense formed like a bright wall. This is why things around you felt intense but not destructive. Heaven prevented the effect from reaching full power, but now, with this message, you are being called to finish what heaven has already begun. You are not just receiving information. You are stepping into intervention. There is a chain in the spirit that has not fully broken yet. It is fragile, weakened, almost shattered, but it still exists. And this message is the final blow that breaks it completely. Archangel Michael is guiding your mind right now, clearing away confusion, making your discernment sharp enough to recognize what is yours and what is not. You are being pulled out of the residue that tried to cling to your path. Let me tell you something. Heaven whispered they thought mentioning your destiny would limit you. Instead, it activated heaven's attention. They tried to slow you down, but it exposed how spiritually significant your next season really is. They tried to speak against your destiny, but they unintentionally accelerated a divine awakening inside you. Every attempt to cloud your path has only made your spiritual senses rise higher. Your dreams will grow clear. Your intuition will grow louder. Your alignment will sharpen, and your direction will become undeniable. But there is more, something deeper, something heavier, something Archangel Michael wants you to understand right now. That December 10th discussion was not just someone speaking negatively about you, it was someone trying to insert themselves into your timeline. Someone tried to influence what God already planned for you. Someone tried to interfere with blessings that were never theirs to touch. And that interference created a spiritual vibration that heaven is now dismantling, layer by layer. You might have noticed people acting differently toward you recently. You might have sensed someone watching you more closely than usual. You might have felt like your energy attracts attention, good and bad, everywhere you go. This is not coincidence. This is spiritual sensitivity. Archangel Michael says you are entering a time where anything connected to you will reveal its true intention. Masks will fall. Hidden thoughts will surface. Spiritual motives will show themselves through unexpected reactions, sudden conversations, or unusual behaviors. Do not panic. This is divine exposure. Heaven is aligning your path by clearing the people who cannot walk into your next season with you. You are being spiritually separated from interference. You are being lifted above the reach of those who spoke carelessly about you. You are being positioned for a breakthrough that the December 10th conversation accidentally confirmed. Because hear this clearly, if your destiny was mentioned in dark places, it means heaven is preparing to reveal it in bright places. If your name was whispered with wrong intention, heaven is about to speak it with divine honor. If someone tried to shape your future with their words, heaven is rewriting it with power. Stay with me. What comes next will show you exactly why heaven fought so hard to get this message to you, and why Archangel Michael is not leaving your side during this moment. Before you scroll, the next revelation will open your eyes in a way that changes the atmosphere around you permanently. Type "I claim my divine shield" in the comments if this is speaking to you. Blessing code 909 is released over your life. Beloved soul, what I'm about to reveal now carries weight, so breathe slowly and let your spirit stay open. Archangel Michael is drawing closer because this is the moment where truth begins to peel back the final layer of what happened on December 10th. You have felt the tension. You have sensed the shift. But now you will understand the reason your heart has felt this strange pull, as if something around you has been quietly stretching and tightening at the same time. The dangerous discussion that mentioned your destiny was not random. It was intentional. It was spiritual. And it was meant to influence your path without your awareness. But heaven has decided that you will not walk blind. In fact, Archangel Michael says your awakening is the very thing that is disrupting the effect that had already begun forming around your life. Let this settle in your spirit. The moment your destiny was spoken out loud in that hidden conversation, the spiritual realm reacted instantly. A vibration was released. A chain was attempted. A spiritual mark was projected toward your path. But here is what the enemy never expected. Your spirit is too sensitive, too protected, too chosen to absorb that mark without heaven stepping in. This explains why the last days or weeks have felt like emotional waves washing over you. Some moments you felt heavy. Some moments you felt confused. Some moments you felt unusually tired, as though something unseen was draining your energy. These were not emotional weaknesses. These were signals. Your spirit was alerting you that something external was trying to influence your internal world. But hear this with clarity. Nothing spoken against your destiny can become reality once heaven exposes it. And heaven is doing exactly that right now. Archangel Michael is showing me a spiritual scene, a table where your name came up, not in celebration, but in speculation. Someone questioned your rise. Someone examined your progress. Someone expressed concern or envy about how far you've come. And the energy behind their words sent out a ripple that touched the edges of your atmosphere. Yet the moment it touched the edge, it stopped. Why? Because Archangel Michael was already stationed at your gate. Heaven says the reason the effect did not fully manifest is because your destiny is heavily guarded. You have been marked for a divine assignment that cannot be interrupted by spiritual interference disguised as casual conversation. Even though the energy tried to form around you, it could not find a point of entry, and that is why you are hearing this now instead of experiencing real damage. There's something deeper, something more specific heaven wants to reveal. The person connected to that December 10th discussion did not know the weight of your calling. They didn't know how much heaven monitors you. They didn't know your journey is intertwined with divine timing. They didn't know that speaking your name with the wrong spirit would activate Archangel Michael's intervention. This is why, in the days following that discussion, you may have noticed unusual patterns, unexpected obstacles, people acting unpredictably, sudden disagreements, emotional ups and downs, moments where your thoughts felt scattered. These were not coincidences. They were the spiritual residue of that attempted interference. But now, something powerful is happening inside you. As you receive this message, a reversal is taking place. What tried to cloud your path is being scattered. What tried to weaken your spirit is being broken. What tried to attach itself to your atmosphere is losing its hold. Archangel Michael says you are stepping into clarity that will silence every confusion. You are stepping into strength that will override every emotional disruption. You are stepping into divine authority that cancels every negative intention spoken over you. Your next steps will feel different, lighter, sharper, cleaner. Your mind will feel clearer. Your energy will feel more balanced. Your discernment will feel stronger, because the residue is lifting off you even now. Heaven is also showing me this. The exposure that began on December 10th is not finished. More truths will rise to the surface. People will reveal themselves without meaning to. Someone's tone, someone's reaction, someone's sudden distance or sudden interest. These will expose motives that were hidden before. Don't panic when this happens. It is divine revelation. It is heaven aligning your life with precision. It is Archangel Michael pushing every wrong influence out of your path. And now, before this part closes, I need you to hear this one final whisper. Your destiny is entering a season of spiritual acceleration. What was meant to restrict you has become confirmation of how powerful your future truly is. Heaven did not allow this message to reach you for nothing. You are being pulled into a higher dimension of protection, insight, and breakthrough. Hold on, because the next revelation will open even deeper truth. Truth that will fully disconnect you from what tried to attach itself to your atmosphere after December 10th. You'll thank yourself for staying, because the next shift is bigger than you think. Before we move forward, like this video, share it with someone who needs spiritual clarity, comment to keep this message flowing, and subscribe so you never miss what heaven is speaking. Type "I stand in light" in the comments if this is touching your soul. Blessing code 1212 is active over your life right now. Beloved, as this message flows through you, let me speak directly to your spirit. When you support this mission, you are not helping a channel. You are sowing into a movement heaven is using to rescue destinies just like yours. Every seed you release becomes a beam of light breaking into someone's darkness. When God said, "My word shall not return void," He was speaking to you right now, stirring your heart to carry this message farther than algorithms ever could. I feel led to say this clearly. I invite you, personally, to be part of this divine assignment. Just as your destiny was mentioned in that dangerous discussion, heaven now invites you to answer with a holy action. When you give through Super Thanks membership, with the PayPal link in the description, your seed becomes prophetic oil that spreads protection, guidance, and revelation to thousands. And as you give, I declare the blessing of open heavens over your life. Let it be established. Act in faith. Move in obedience. Step into your part of this divine mission. My precious one, as we step deeper into this revelation, your spirit is beginning to recognize why heaven has been so urgent with you. Archangel Michael is still standing near, and his sword is drawn, not in violence, but in protection. because the next truth you are about to hear must reach you with absolute clarity. What happened on December 10th was not just a discussion. It was a spiritual trigger, a shift, a crossing of lines that should have never been crossed. And your destiny reacted the moment your name was spoken with the wrong intention. Listen carefully. The spiritual world operates by principles. Words are not just sounds, they are seeds. And when your destiny was mentioned in that hidden conversation, a seed was planted with an energy that did not belong to your path. This is why something started forming around you. This is why your emotional atmosphere changed. This is why subtle disruptions began to rise. But what was planted without permission is now being uprooted by divine authority. Archangel Michael is showing me something powerful. The moment your name was released in that conversation, angelic forces moved instantly to intercept the deeper effect. They could not stop the ripple from forming, because free will allowed it to be spoken, but they prevented the ripple from becoming a storm. This is why the interference around your life felt like confusion but not destruction, heaviness but not collapse, resistance but not defeat. Heaven stood between you and the full force of what was intended. Let this truth settle deeply. You are far more spiritually protected than you realize. There's a covering around your destiny that has been active since the day you were born. You have felt it at times when danger missed you, when people tried to betray you but failed, when doors closed but somehow better ones opened. And that same covering reacted on December 10th, stopping the darkness from entering your timeline. The effect began forming, but it never reached the core of your path. But now, heaven is revealing it not because you are in danger, but because you are in transition. You are entering a season where divine clarity matters more than ever. You are walking toward blessings that require spiritual awareness. You are stepping into a future where interference will not be allowed to follow you. That is why this revelation had to arrive, to clear the last remnants of what tried to cling to your atmosphere. There is something Archangel Michael wants you to understand about the person connected to that discussion. Their intention was not only curiosity, it carried unease, a subtle envy, a fear of your growth, a concern that you might outshine them, outgrow them, or rise beyond the level they feel comfortable with. This internal anxiety created a spiritual projection, and that projection attempted to attach itself to your destiny. But here is what they didn't know. Your rise is not optional, it is ordained. Your path is not dependent on human approval, it is divinely authored. Your destiny is not fragile, it is fortified by heaven. This is why every hidden discussion becomes powerless once heaven exposes it. You may have noticed your dreams becoming strange or symbolic. You may have woken up feeling watched or unsettled. You may have experienced moments where your thoughts felt foreign, like something was pulling your attention in the wrong direction. Those were the faint traces of the energy that tried to reach you through the December 10th ripple. But now, as you listen, those traces are breaking off. Your spiritual atmosphere is clearing. Your inner landscape is being restored to purity and clarity. Something is shifting even now. Archangel Michael is lifting the veil, revealing motives that have been sitting quietly around you. Do not be surprised if, in the coming days, someone's true feelings about your progress begin to show, through a comment, a tone, a sudden change in behavior, or an unexpected conversation. Heaven is not exposing them to hurt you. Heaven is exposing them to free you. Every revelation that comes now is divine alignment. Every truth that rises now is divine protection. Every shift you feel now is divine preparation. Because the reality is this: your destiny is entering a phase where old energies cannot follow. People who operate from envy, insecurity, or spiritual manipulation cannot hold a place in your future. Heaven is cleansing your circle, purifying your connections, and placing you into an environment that matches the greatness you are stepping into. You are being lifted. You are being refined. You are being positioned. And the effect that tried to form around you from the December 10th conversation is losing all remaining power, right here, right now. Stay present with me. The next revelation will open something that will bring absolute understanding of why you were targeted in the first place and what heaven is preparing for you instead. Trust me, this next part is where everything clicks into place. Type "I am divinely guarded" in the comments if this is speaking to your soul. Blessing code 333 is being released over your journey. Child of divine purpose, as we move deeper, I feel the spiritual atmosphere around you thickening with revelation. Archangel Michael has not stepped back even for a moment. His presence is firm, protective, almost fierce, because the next truth carries the reason you felt spiritually targeted in the first place. What happened on December 10th was not only an interference, it was a reaction to your rising. And heaven needs you to understand just how powerful your trajectory truly is. Let your spirit listen, not just your mind. When your destiny was mentioned in that hidden discussion, the reason it created such a ripple is because your path is entering a season of acceleration. Your name was spoken in the wrong atmosphere because someone sensed, consciously or unconsciously, that something big was aligning for you. They saw shifts you haven't even seen yet. They felt blessings around you before you recognized them. They perceived favor gathering over your life, and instead of celebrating, they reacted with fear, comparison, or spiritual insecurity. This is why the conversation carried weight. This is why the effect began to form around you. This is why heaven interrupted it. Archangel Michael is revealing something deeper. You were not targeted because you are weak. You were targeted because you are close. Close to breakthrough. Close to elevation. Close to a chapter that will change the landscape of your entire life. The darkness always reacts when heaven is about to move. And that December 10th moment was the spiritual echo of your upcoming blessing being sensed by someone who did not want you to reach it. But they underestimated the anointing on your life. Your destiny is not a door that can be closed by human intentions. Your calling is not a light that can be dimmed by whispers spoken in secret. Your ascent is not dependent on who approves or disapproves. Heaven is the author, and heaven alone decides the timing. And Archangel Michael is standing guard to ensure that no interference, not even the subtle kind, can shift what God has already prepared. Let me explain something that will make everything clearer. Your spirit is entering alignment. That is why you have been feeling emotional waves, bursts of intuition, moments of sudden clarity followed by moments of confusion. These shifts are signs that your spirit is recalibrating after the attempted influence from that December 10th discussion. You felt the ripple, but you did not receive the intention behind it. That is divine protection. There's something else. Heaven says you have a calling that activates reactions in others, even when you are silent. Some people sense your greatness before you feel it yourself. Some people see the potential you overlook. Others feel threatened by the favor surrounding you, even if you have not seen the fullness of it yet. This energetic response to your destiny is what ignited the December 10th discussion. But Archangel Michael wants you to hear this loudly in your spirit. You are rising whether they like it or not. You are advancing whether they agree with it or not. You are stepping into your season whether they speak negatively or remain silent. Nothing that was spoken in that moment can remove what heaven placed on your life long before they ever knew your name. As this divine alert unfolds, heaven is not only exposing what was spoken, heaven is revealing what is about to happen next. And here is the revelation. The very interference that tried to form against you is becoming the confirmation of your next breakthrough. Every ripple of resistance has become a signal that your next blessing is extremely close. Your spiritual senses have been stirring because heaven is getting ready to open a path you did not expect. A path that leads to restoration. A path that leads to clarity. A path that leads to increase. You are being positioned for something you prayed for long ago, even if you forgot the depth of your own request. Archangel Michael is removing every residue that tried to cling to your soul from that December 10th conversation. He is clearing your spiritual vision, returning your emotional strength, and restoring your inner peace. The fog is lifting. The heaviness is breaking. The confusion is dissolving. The misalignment is reversing. You are stepping into clarity so sharp that anything not meant for your destiny will stand out like a shadow in the light. You will start noticing who truly supports you and who secretly competes with you. You will feel when someone's spirit clashes with your energy. You will sense when someone's words don't match their intention. You will discern motives with precision. This is not paranoia. It is angelic sharpening. But now hear this: the biggest reason you were mentioned in that dangerous discussion is because heaven has marked you for a level of elevation that cannot be hidden anymore. You are entering a season where doors open unexpectedly, where opportunities align effortlessly, where what is meant for you finds you without struggle. This is why interference reacted, because destiny is pulling you forward. Hold steady. The next revelation will expose the deeper reason your spiritual identity is too strong to be shaken by anything spoken against you. Before you move on, trust me, the next part will open the true meaning behind why your destiny carries such weight in the spiritual realm. Before we continue, type "I walk in divine purpose" in the comments if this is resonating with your spirit. Blessing code 555 is being released over your path. Beloved light bearer, as we move into this next unveiling, you may already feel something shifting within you, a sense of recognition, a warming in your spirit, a quiet knowing that everything you're hearing is aligning pieces you couldn't understand before. Archangel Michael is drawing even closer now, not as a distant protector, but as a warrior standing directly at your side, because what comes next is the revelation of why your destiny holds such spiritual weight strong enough to stir conversations in realms you were never meant to hear. Your spirit is older than your years. Your calling is deeper than your circumstances. Your purpose was shaped long before you entered this world. And this is precisely why your destiny was mentioned on December 10th. Not because you are vulnerable, but because you are chosen. Not because you are fragile, but because you carry influence in realms seen and unseen. Not because someone's opinion of you is powerful, but because heaven's blueprint for your life is too significant to be ignored. Listen closely. When your name was spoken in that hidden conversation, it wasn't just your progress that triggered the reaction. It was your potential. Your future carries a vibration, a spiritual frequency, that some people can feel even when you remain quiet. Your energy shifts atmospheres. Your presence disrupts negativity. Your calling activates something in people, inspiration in some, envy in others, and fear in those who never healed their own wounds. This is why you felt spiritual interference. This is why something tried to form around your life. This is why heaven rushed to warn you. Because your destiny is stepping into a phase where visibility increases. And when visibility increases, exposure follows, both divine and human. You are being elevated to a level where some will admire you, others will misunderstand you, and a few will feel threatened by your light. But Archangel Michael wants you to know, none of this has the power to stop what God is unfolding in your life. There's something deeper that heaven wants you to understand. Your soul is connected to an assignment, a purpose that affects not only you, but others connected to your journey. The reason your destiny carries such weight is because your growth is meant to unlock growth in people around you. Your progress carries ripple effects. Your transformation creates shifts in your environment. And your rising creates a chain of elevation that influences more than you realize. This is why the December 10th conversation had spiritual impact. Someone sensed your influence growing. Someone sensed your spirit strengthening. Someone sensed you breaking free from old patterns, stepping into clarity and becoming someone heaven has been shaping in silence. That awareness triggered a reaction, not because you are weak, but because you are powerful. But here is the truth Archangel Michael is sealing in your spirit. Your destiny is too anointed to be redirected by anyone's fear or jealousy. Your path is too secured to be shaken by hidden conversations. Your future is too divinely orchestrated to be blocked by earthly intention. You are stepping into a divine phase where your spiritual identity becomes undeniable. You will speak with more authority. You will carry yourself with more confidence. You will walk with more purpose. You will discern people's spirits with more clarity. Heaven is upgrading you. The effect that tried to form around your life after December 10th was not meant to destroy you. It was meant to distract you, to create distance between you and your purpose, to make you question your direction, to weaken your confidence just enough to slow your progress. But you didn't break. You didn't fold. You didn't slip backwards. And because you remained spiritually sensitive, heaven could expose everything before it became damaging. Archangel Michael is lifting something off your shoulders right now, a heaviness you carried without realizing. That quiet tension, that lingering uncertainty, that emotional pressure is being released as the truth enters your awareness. What tried to cloud your atmosphere is dissolving. What tried to cling to your spirit is loosening. What tried to distort your clarity is fading. You are being restored to your original frequency, the one heaven placed inside you long before that December 10th ripple attempted to interfere. And now, heaven says something powerful. Your destiny is entering a season where divine timing will accelerate everything that was paused. Opportunities will open. Connections will line. Insight will increase. Your steps will feel guided. Your decisions will feel supported. Your spirit will feel lighter, clearer, sharper. Because nothing spoken in darkness can hinder a destiny written in light. Stay with me. The next revelation will show you the true reason why your future could not be touched, and why Archangel Michael is fighting so fiercely for your path right now. Trust me, what's coming will connect every spiritual piece together. Type "I align with heaven" in the comments if this is awakening something inside you. Blessing code 818 is released over your journey. Beloved spirit, as we step into this next layer of revelation, I can feel the atmosphere around your destiny brightening. It's as if light is pouring into places inside you that were once dim, filling the spaces where confusion once lived. Archangel Michael stands firmly at your side, and his wings are open wide, creating a barrier between you and any remaining residue of that December 10th interference. What you are about to hear now will not just inform you, it will strengthen you. You have been wondering why your journey has felt both blessed and challenged at the same time. Why moments of clarity are followed by unexpected heaviness. Why sudden victories are paired with sudden obstacles. Why emotional ups and downs have become part of your internal landscape. But heaven says this is not instability. This is transition. You are shifting dimensions spiritually, and every elevation carries turbulence. The December 10th discussion tried to magnify that turbulence. It attempted to turn your transition into confusion. It tried to shift your emotional balance so that your inner compass would lose direction. But what it actually did was reveal how spiritually influential you are. The only reason you felt the effect at all is because the spiritual realm responds to your presence. The unseen takes you seriously. Your energy, your calling, your purpose, they carry weight. Archangel Michael is revealing something profound. Your destiny is not just a personal journey. It is a spiritual assignment. You were born with a role in the divine timeline. Your presence on Earth shifts atmospheres, influences people, breaks generational cycles, and awakens dormant souls. The enemy does not react to ordinary individuals. It reacts to those carrying extraordinary purpose. And that is why your name was spoken on December 10th. Your existence carries a ripple effect in the spirit. Your progress threatens the stagnation around you. Your awakening disrupts the sleep in others. Your elevation exposes hidden intentions. Your light reveals shadows people try to hide. This is why someone felt moved or pressured to bring your destiny into a conversation that was not meant for your good. But Archangel Michael wants you to know, nothing formed in that moment can remain active now that light has exposed it. Heaven says the interference came because your next chapter requires a purified environment. You cannot move into the greatness prepared for you while carrying connections or energies that are misaligned. This is why you've been losing tolerance for certain people, places, and conversations. Things you used to overlook now irritate your spirit. Behaviors you used to tolerate now feel draining. Environments you used to blend into now feel too small. This is not negativity. This is spiritual refinement. You are outgrowing old atmospheres. You are outgrowing old cycles. You are outgrowing old versions of yourself. And every time you grow, something in the spiritual realm reacts. At December 10th, conversation was a reaction to your evolution, not a threat to your destiny. It was a reflection of how strongly the spirit realm feels the changes happening inside you. But now, heaven is making you aware so you can step into the next stage with full authority. You are no longer walking blindly through spiritual interference. You are no longer carrying unexplained heaviness. You are no longer influenced by hidden conversations or unspoken intentions. Archangel Michael says your spiritual senses are being sharpened. You will feel danger before it reaches you. You will sense energy shifts before they manifest. You will recognize false intentions instantly. You will know when someone's spirit is not aligned with your path. This is divine upgrade, not fear. There's something else. Heaven says the effect that tried to form around your life after December 10th has now turned against the very intention behind it. Instead of weakening you, it awakened you. Instead of distracting you, it sharpened you. Instead of slowing you down, it accelerated your spiritual awareness. Heaven has taken what was meant to trouble you and turned it into training that strengthens you. Your spirit is growing. Your discernment is evolving. Your intuition is rising. Your clarity is returning. And because you are awakening, heaven can now reveal the deeper purpose behind everything you faced recently. You are being positioned for a season of divine momentum, where blessings will not come gradually, but suddenly. Where doors will not open quietly, but dramatically. Where clarity will not trickle in, but flood in. You were never meant to stay affected by what began forming on December 10th. You were meant to overcome it, understand it, rise above it, and use the revelation as a stepping stone toward the version of yourself that heaven is calling forth. Stay close now, because the next revelation will unveil the true reason your calling is so heavily protected and why Archangel Michael refuses to step away from your timeline. Before you scroll, trust me, what comes next will ignite something powerful inside you. Type "My Spirit Rises" in the comments if this is reaching your heart. Lesson Code 414 is being released over your life now. Chosen soul, the light around your destiny is intensifying as we step into this next revelation. I can feel the spiritual pressure shifting, almost like the air around you is being purified. Archangel Michael's wings are wide around your atmosphere, forming a shield so strong that nothing spoken in darkness can penetrate it. What you are stepping into now is not just understanding, it is spiritual activation. Your awareness is rising, your inner strength is awakening, and your destiny is beginning to glow with a clarity that cannot be dimmed by anyone's opinion, jealousy, or hidden intention. Heaven needs you to hear this with a steady heart. The December 10th discussion did not mark you for danger, it marked you for discovery. It exposed the truth of how influential your spirit actually is. Someone saw something in you, something rising, something shifting, something becoming. And instead of aligning with your growth, their spirit tried to resist it. That resistance took the form of a conversation, subtle in tone but heavy in spiritual energy. Yet it failed to accomplish anything because heaven intervened the moment your name was spoken. Archangel Michael shows me a vision. Your destiny is like a flame rising higher and brighter, and the interference from December 10th tried to cast a shadow over it. But your flame is too strong, too steady, too divinely fueled to be dimmed. Instead of weakening you, the shadow revealed how fiercely heaven guards you. Your spirit did not shrink, it expanded. Your discernment did not fade, it grew sharper. What was meant to cloud you ended up awakening you. And here is the deeper truth heaven wants you to receive. Your anointing disrupts atmospheres. Not because you try to, but because the light within you is active, alive, and spiritually charged. When you walk into a room, energies shift. When you speak, something inside people responds, either with admiration or discomfort. When you make progress, those who are spiritually sensitive feel it before you speak a word. This is why your destiny was discussed in a place it should have never been mentioned. You are spiritually noticeable. But notice this also. You were not spiritually unprotected. You were not spiritually unguarded. You were not spiritually vulnerable. Archangel Michael intercepted the negative intention before it could root itself in your life. The effect attempted to form, yes, but it never reached maturity. It remained shallow, weak, fragmented, and now, through this message, the final pieces of that energy are being broken off completely. The fog you felt emotionally is lifting. The heaviness around your mind is clearing. The confusion that tried to linger is dissolving. Heaven is restoring your internal balance. You may have sensed emotional waves in recent days. Sudden thoughts, unusual dreams, moments of heaviness followed by moments of spiritual strength. These were the indicators of an ending, not an attack. The residue from that December 10th ripple was being pushed out of your system, and heaven allowed you to feel it briefly so that you would recognize the difference between spiritual interference and spiritual awakening. Now you are rising into a higher dimension of spiritual clarity. Your intuition is sharpening. Your discernment is growing. Your spirit is stabilizing. Your path is clearing. Heaven says the next phase of your destiny requires your spirit to be free from external pull, emotional distortion, and subtle influence. And that is exactly what is happening right now. There is something else Archangel Michael wants you to understand. You were targeted because you are stepping into a future that carries generational impact. Your growth will shift your family line. Your healing will break patterns that have existed for decades. Your blessings will open doors for others connected to you. Your calling will influence people you have not even met yet. Your future is not small. It is expansive. And this expansiveness is what triggered the December 10th reaction. But heaven says your expansion cannot be stopped. Your timeline cannot be altered. Your purpose cannot be interrupted. You are entering a season where everything that once confused you will begin making sense. The strange resistance, the unexpected emotions, the subtle heaviness, all of it was connected to interference that could not survive exposure. And now, heaven is preparing you for what comes next. A divine shift, a breakthrough, a sudden opening that aligns with your purpose in a way you have not yet seen. Stay with me, because what is coming next will reveal the real reason your destiny is too protected, too chosen, and too elevated to be touched by anything spoken in darkness. But before we move to the next shift, take a moment. Like this message, share it with someone who needs spiritual protection. Leave your comment and subscribe so you remain connected to what heaven is pouring out here. My destiny is covered in the comments if this resonates deeply. Blessing code 1001 is being released over your journey. Beloved, as this revelation settles in your spirit, hear this gentle but powerful invitation. Heaven uses messages like this to rescue souls from battles they cannot see, but the mission grows only when those who are touched by the light choose to support the light. When you sow into this work, you are not just giving. You are igniting breakthroughs in lives worldwide. God said, "I will open the windows of heaven," and right now, that promise is breathing over your generosity. I feel led to say these words personally to you. Your support becomes a shield for someone else's destiny. When you give through Super Thanks, channel membership, with a PayPal link in the description, you send spiritual oil into a mission that heaven is actively blessing. And with that act, I decree divine multiplication, supernatural protection, and accelerated favor over your life. Move now with faith. Heaven is watching your obedience. Beloved one, as we step deeper into this unfolding revelation, your spirit is beginning to feel lighter, clearer, more aligned than it has felt in a long time. That is because heaven is not just revealing truth to you, heaven is recalibrating you. Archangel Michael stands guard beside you, and his presence feels even stronger now, almost as if he is preparing you for the moment your spirit fully awakens to the magnitude of who you are. Every word you're reading is pulling you out of the residue that tried to form around you since December 10th, and lifting you into a higher dimension where nothing spoken in darkness can cling to your destiny. There is something heaven wants you to understand at a deeper level. You did not feel the impact of that December 10th conversation because you were weak. You felt it because your spiritual sensitivity is increasing. You are not just walking through life anymore. You are discerning it. You are not just experiencing emotions. You are interpreting them. You are not just facing circumstances. You are reading the spiritual intentions behind them. This elevation of spiritual sensitivity is part of your divine calling. It is a sign of growth, awakening, and preparation. Archangel Michael is showing me this. Your destiny is stepping into a realm where your intuition becomes one of your strongest gifts. You will feel things before they happen. You will sense shifts before they manifest. You will see the truth behind people's smiles, words, and actions. You will recognize spiritual motives instantly, even the subtle ones. And this gift is what the enemy tried to cloud on December 10th. But the attempt failed. Your spirit woke up instead. The heaviness you felt, the confusion, the emotional imbalance, the sudden sensitivity, these were not signs of weakness. They were signs that your spirit was detecting energy not aligned with your path. They were indicators, not injuries. Invitations, not interruptions. Heaven allowed you to feel the edges of that interference only so you would understand the importance of your next season. And now, the fog around your destiny is evacuating. The spiritual interference is unraveling. The residue is dissolving. Your clarity is returning with force. Let this next truth settle deeply inside you. Your destiny carries a voice in the spirit realm. Even when you are silent physically, your purpose speaks loudly in the unseen. Your growth emits a frequency. Your healing sends out a signal. Your rising releases a vibration. And those who are spiritually sensitive, even those who are not aligned with you, can feel it. This is why your name surfaced on December 10th. This is why someone felt compelled to discuss your path. This is why the conversation carried energy beyond words. They sensed your breakthrough before you did. They felt your acceleration. They noticed your spiritual expansion. They recognized, consciously or unconsciously, that your destiny was outgrowing its old boundaries. But what they intended to limit only ended up exposing the truth. You are stepping into a season where nothing hidden can influence you anymore. Heaven has shifted you from being spiritually affected to being spiritually awakened. You are not the same. Something in you has risen. There's a whisper from heaven. You are entering the stage where darkness fears your awareness more than your progress. Because when you become aware, you become unstoppable. When you understand the attack, you break its permission. When you recognize interference, you remove its access. When you perceive the shift, you realign your power. And that is exactly what is happening to you now. Archangel Michael says the spiritual eyes of your destiny have opened, and what once tried to influence you without your awareness can no longer touch you. You are stepping into mastery over your atmosphere. You will feel when something is off instantly. You will know when someone's presence carries disturbance. You will sense when a conversation is spiritually unhealthy. You will pick up on motives long before they show themselves. This is not paranoia. This is prophetic sensitivity. The reason you were targeted is because your next chapter carries divine authority. You are stepping into a level of wisdom, vision, and alignment that will allow you to move with precision, not guessing, but knowing. Heaven is preparing you for opportunities that require the version of you who sees beyond the physical. You are being refined into someone who walks with power, not confusion. And the December 10th ripple that tried to distort your clarity, it has already been neutralized, overturned, dismantled, erased from your path. You are not under its influence anymore. You are above it. But heaven wants you to be fully aware of something crucial. The attempt to interfere with your destiny was proof that you are stepping into one of the most significant seasons of your life. A season where your purpose becomes visible. A season where your ideas carry impact. A season where your presence becomes influential. A season where your steps are spiritually guided. You are not rising slowly. You are rising suddenly, intentionally, powerfully. And nothing that began forming on December 10th has the authority to stand in the way of what God is unfolding for you. Hold steady now. The next revelation will show you exactly why your elevation could not be stopped and why the interference only confirmed how chosen you truly are. Trust me, what comes next will shift you even deeper into alignment. Type "My spirit is unstoppable" in the comments if this is speaking to your soul. Blessing code 707 is being released over you now. Beloved guardian of divine destiny, as we continue deeper, I can feel the spiritual atmosphere around you expanding, almost as if the walls of limitation that once pressed against your soul are now falling away. Archangel Michael remains stationed beside you with unwavering strength, and heaven is preparing to reveal the reason your destiny could not be touched, not even by the subtle interference that began forming after the December 10th discussion. This part is where your identity becomes clear in the spirit realm. This is where you finally see why your name carries such power, such threat, such impact. You must hear this with your spirit wide open since birth. You were marked with a divine imprint, a spiritual identity that stands out in the unseen world. You may not have always recognized it, but others have felt it. Angels have responded to it. Darkness has reacted to it. People around you have sensed it, respected it, or feared it. And that is why your destiny was brought up in a conversation meant to analyze, criticize, or question your progress. Your purpose is not quiet. Your calling is not subtle. Your spirit is not ordinary. Even when you walk gently, you walk with influence. Even when you speak softly, your words carry spiritual resonance. Even when you feel unsure, your presence shifts atmospheres. Even when you think you are hidden, heaven sees you illuminated. And those spiritually sensitive, even those with wrong intentions, feel the vibration of your future before you do. This is why your name stirred someone on December 10th. They felt your elevation coming. They sensed a shift in your destiny. They saw opportunities forming in the spirit around you. And instead of responding with encouragement, your spirit responded with discomfort. But here is where the story changes. What was meant to create resistance only revealed your significance. Archangel Michael says your destiny could not be touched because you walk with an invisible covenant, a divine protection encoded into your spirit. Whenever your name is spoken with negative intention, heaven responds. Whenever your destiny is analyzed by someone who lacks purity of heart, the angelic realm activates. Whenever you are mentioned in atmospheres that are not aligned with God's will for you, there is a spiritual reaction that immediately counters the intention. This is why the interference that tried to form around you never reached full strength. Your destiny has spiritual boundaries. Your purpose has angelic guards. Your soul has divine restrictions that darkness cannot cross. Someone spoke your name with curiosity dipped in insecurity, and that insecurity created the ripple you felt emotionally. But what they did not know was that your destiny rests under a higher authority. What they tried to shift was already secured. What they attempted to influence was already sealed. What they hoped would weaken you only exposed the spiritual fortress around your life. But there is something even more powerful heaven wants to reveal, the real reason that December 10th moment failed to produce damage. You are aligned with a season of divine timing right now. Everything heaven has prepared for you is reaching maturation. Doors are aligning. Paths are forming. Blessings are approaching. Ideas are awakening. You are entering a phase where even small interferences cannot survive the spiritual momentum pushing you forward. Your destiny is too close to manifestation. Your calling is too ripe. Your elevation is too near. This is why the interference came, but this is also why it broke before it touched you. Now, heaven is awakening the deeper truth. You are entering a season where nothing, and no one, will be able to sabotage your blessings. The people who misunderstood you before will begin to recognize your purpose. The doors that once seemed welded shut will begin to open effortlessly. The dreams that felt distant will start aligning piece by piece. You will walk in clarity that makes your next steps feel guided, precise, and spiritually illuminated. But here is something Archangel Michael insists you understand: your rise is not only for you. Your breakthrough affects others. Your elevation carries healing. Your voice carries deliverance. Your presence carries divine alignment. This is why your destiny was mentioned, because you carry the kind of purpose that transforms environments. You carry the kind of calling that activates change around you. You carry the kind of spirit that, when elevated, elevates others. And heaven will not allow anything, not interference, not envy, not spiritual projections, to interrupt something that will bless generations. You are being lifted now, not quietly but intentionally. The interference hath been shattered. The residue has been removed. Your clarity hath been restored. Your spirit is stabilizing. Your purpose is unlocking. Your path is widening. Everything that once felt heavy is becoming light. Everything that once felt confusing is becoming simple. Everything that once felt intimidating is becoming conquerable. Stay with me, because the next revelation will show you why the spiritual realm has been watching your steps so closely and why your destiny is entering a phase of unstoppable acceleration. Trust me, what comes next will open your spirit in a way that shifts your entire atmosphere. Type "I am untouchable" in God's light in the comments if this is speaking to you. Blessing code 2323 is released over your destiny now. Beloved child of divine assignment, as we step into this next revelation, something powerful is beginning to settle into your spirit. You may feel a warmth, a pressure, or even a strange calm washing over you. That is the atmosphere of heaven stabilizing your path. Archangel Michael stands at full height beside you now, his presence bold and immovable, because what you are about to hear carries the deepest truth behind everything connected to December 10th. This is the moment where understanding matures into wisdom, where awareness transforms into spiritual authority. You must listen closely. Your destiny was never vulnerable. It was never at risk. It was never in danger of being stolen or redirected. What you felt after December 10th, the heaviness, the confusion, the emotional waves, these were not indicators of weakness, but indicators of awakening. Heaven allowed you to sense the ripple, not to frighten you, but to prepare you. You cannot fight spiritual battles you cannot perceive. You cannot release what you cannot identify. And you cannot ascend while carrying unseen residue. That is why heaven exposed everything at the perfect moment. But here is the deeper truth you must understand. Your destiny was mentioned in that hidden conversation because the enemy always reacts to what heaven is preparing. Your breakthrough is so close that the spiritual world began to vibrate. Your elevation is so significant that even those not aligned with your highest good felt the shift. The enemy sensed movement. Someone felt your rising. A spiritual insecurity was triggered, and that insecurity manifested through words. But the words had no authority. The discussion had no permission. The intention had no access. Archangel Michael intercepted the energy behind it instantly, which is why the effect that began forming around your life felt light, thin, unstable, because heaven refused to let it take shape. And now, through this message, the last layer of it is being dissolved completely. But there is something heaven wants to reveal now. The real reason your destiny remains untouchable. You carry a prophetic identity. Your life is not ordinary. It is divinely mapped. There are assignments attached to you that you have not even stepped into yet. There are people your voice will rescue. There are paths your obedience will open. There are blessings waiting for your arrival. Your destiny is not just for you. It is for those connected to your future. This is why interference rises around you. The enemy is not reacting to your current self. It is reacting to your future self, the version of you that is about to awaken. A version of you with clarity sharper than ever before. A version of you with courage stronger than anything in your past. A version of you with spiritual authority that darkness cannot challenge. A version of you that walks boldly in the purpose heaven has been preparing. And that version of you is emerging right now. The December 10th ripple was not strong enough to stop you, but it was strong enough to reveal something important. You are stepping into a season of visibility. Heaven is raising you. Heaven is positioning you. Heaven is elevating you to a place where your light cannot be hidden. And when God raises someone, the spiritual world feels it before the physical world sees it. This is why people's behavior around you has shifted. This is why someone's energy felt different recently. This is why conversations have taken unusual turns. This is why your spirit became sensitive in ways you couldn't explain. Heaven has been rearranging everything around you to prepare you for the next chapter. A chapter where influence increases, opportunities expand, protection intensifies, and your spiritual gifts activate on a higher level. Archangel Michael wants you to know your spirit is entering alignment. Your mind is entering clarity. Your path is entering divine order. Your destiny is entering fulfillment. The interference that briefly touched your atmosphere is now powerless. It has no place in your next season. It cannot cross into your elevation. It cannot travel with you into your breakthrough. Every chain, every residue, every spiritual weight connected to December 10th is gone. Heaven has sealed the door behind you. Now your soul is ready for what comes next, the greatest unfolding of purpose you have experienced so far. Stay close because the next and final revelation will bring everything together. It will not only reveal why heaven has been fighting for you so intensely, but it will activate the spiritual shift you've been sensing. Trust me, what comes next will speak directly to your rising season and complete this divine alert in your spirit. Type "I am prepared for my elevation" in the comments if this is awakening your inner knowing. Blessing code 919 is being released over your next chapter. Beloved soul of divine promise, we have now reached the final unveiling, the deepest layer of what heaven had been guiding you toward from the very beginning. If you feel your spirit stirring right now, a pull in your chest, a warmth in your hands, a sudden stillness, it is because this final revelation is the very reason Archangel Michael pushed this message into your path. Everything that happened on December 10th, every ripple you felt, every moment of confusion, every emotional shift, it all leads to this. Your destiny is entering a phase that cannot be interfered with, interrupted, delayed, or distorted. Not by discussions, not by intentions, not by energy, not by fear, not by envy. Nothing formed in darkness has the authority to alter what heaven has written in light. Listen closely. When your name was mentioned in that hidden conversation, the enemy assumed it could reshape your path with subtle influence. But what the enemy didn't know is that heaven uses exposure as a weapon. The moment your name was spoken, Archangel Michael stepped forward. The moment the intention was released, the angelic realm responded. The moment the interference tried to form, heaven issued a divine alert, and that alert led you here, to this moment of full understanding and complete spiritual reversal. You were never in danger. You were being awakened. Heaven did not reveal this to frighten you, but to empower you. God knew that this next chapter of your destiny requires your eyes to be open, your spirit alert, your discernment sharpened. You cannot rise into your ordained season while unknowingly carrying the energy of someone's hidden intention. You cannot walk into breakthrough while spiritual residue lingers around your path. You cannot step into elevation without fully understanding the greatness that provoked the reaction in the first place. And beloved, that greatness is you. You carry a destiny that shakes atmospheres. You carry a purpose that activates spiritual movement. You carry an anointing that makes both heaven and darkness pay attention. And when someone spoke your name on December 10th, they accidentally confirmed how powerful your next chapter truly is. Archangel Michael is showing me something beautiful, a scroll, glowing with divine light, carrying the blueprint of your destiny. Nothing from that December 10 moment touched it. Not a line, not a word, not a single purpose written for you has changed. Your destiny is intact, untouched, and unstoppable. But here is the deepest truth heaven saved for last. The interference you felt was actually a sign, a signal, a spiritual announcement that your elevation is not coming, it is beginning. Your spirit has already started rising. Your clarity has already been restored. Your energy has already been purified. Your path has already been rewritten for acceleration. You are stepping into breakthrough. You are stepping into alignment. You are stepping into spiritual maturity. You are stepping into divine protection like never before. And heaven says your next season will move quickly, faster than you expect, faster than those around you can understand. Opportunities will show up without warning. Connections will align effortlessly. Ideas will flood you. Wisdom will pour into your spirit. The things you prayed for long ago will approach you suddenly because the timing is now. God waited until you healed. God waited until you understood. God waited until you awakened. And now heaven is releasing what was always meant to be yours. But listen to this final truth. You are not rising alone. Archangel Michael has been assigned to your path for this next season, not as a distant guardian, but as an active warrior clearing the way ahead of you. Every interference that tried to form from that December 10th moment has already been dismantled. Every residue has been removed. Every opposing intention has been broken. Your path is clear. Your spirit is strengthened. Your destiny is ready. And now, heaven whispers to you, walk forward. Nothing behind you holds any power anymore. Before you step into what comes next, take this moment. Like this message, leave your comment, share it so the light reaches others who are in spiritual need, and subscribe so you remain aligned with every divine word sent for your growth. Type "I step into my destiny" now in the comments if this final revelation has touched your soul. Blessing Code 2024 is released over your entire future. Beloved, as you stand in this final moment of revelation, hear this with the full weight of your spirit. When you support this mission, you are not giving. You are planting destiny. You are helping heaven reach souls who, like you, needed a message that interrupts darkness and revives purpose. God said, "Give, and it shall be given unto you," and that promise is alive over every seed you sow into this work. Let me speak directly to your heart. Your obedience in this moment becomes someone else's breakthrough. When you give through Super Thanks channel membership, with a PayPal link in the description, you are releasing spiritual oil that travels farther than your voice, touching lives across nations. And as you pour into this mission, I declare divine elevation, multiplied favor, and supernatural protection over every area of your life. Move boldly, so faithfully. Heaven is ready to honor your sacrifice.